Alright, so today we are back and we are doing a Minecraft Bedrock server tier list. Now there are a couple big servers that are not on here. For some reason the images didn't come up, but we're missing like Brokenlens and like Hyperlands, so we'll just do those last. But starting off we have Lifeboat. It didn't properly render. I don't know why. Lifeboat somehow gets like 10,000 player average, I think, and that just makes no sense to me because the server's been dead for like 5 years now. Like no one plays it. It's laggy. Nothing really like fully functions and works, I feel like. But they are redoing everything. So for that matter, because it was such an OG game, I'll give it B tier. But you definitely won't catch me playing on Lifeboat anytime soon, that's for sure. Now, moving on, we've got Nethergames. Now, Nethergames arguably is one of the biggest servers that definitely should be a featured server over other servers like PixelParadise and Mineville. Because Nethergames averages a lot of players. It's like 1,000 most of the time average, which is really, really good. And considering it's not a featured server, that's like incredible. But again, lack of game modes kind of makes it meh. So I don't personally play on it, and to me Nethergames is just like Hyperlands but a little bit more successful. So for that reason I think I'm also going to have to put it B tier, because I have played on it before, but the games are just, it's nothing incredible, I'm going to be honest. Now we are on to Cubecraft. Now Cubecraft, as of like last year and this year, has seen incredible success. I think it's just for the fact that Hive has kind of fallen off a little bit. No one really plays, and everyone's going to Cubecraft, who consistently prove that they can put out good content and new good games. And personally, I'm a humongous fan of Cubecraft. I definitely choose to play Cubecraft over the Hive any day of the week. But obviously, I play Galaxite. But they've got a good diversity in games. You know, they've got games that everyone can play. They've got leaderboards. They've got like stable servers. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to go A tier. And now we've got Mineplex. See, Mineplex I've got mixed feelings for, because it's like Mineplex is, it's just kind of there. It's kind of just like the forgotten server, like the forgotten PvP server. The only thing that they've really got going for them is they've got Cake Wars, and as far as I know, that is like their only successful game that actually gets players. And it's not even that good personally. It's just my preference. I mean, having to like capture certain points to get resources, cool twist, but when you die, you literally lose everything, and I don't like it, and that's their only good game. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to go C tier. Now, these next two, made by the same people, Mineville, PixelParadise, and this is obviously D tier. I would give them F tier if I could. I mean, we all know, literally, the servers are just pay to win. Not even pay to win, it's pay to play. You can't even play the games unless you pay money. So it's really bad, and not to mention, no one on Bedrock really role plays. Alright, so it's kind of an L here, I'm gonna be honest. So kind of self-explanatory, really. Now for this one, I'm just gonna do Hive first, because I mean that's kind of the obvious S tier. See, the thing is, I have Hive over Cubecraft for one reason, and that's because of the PvP. You know, Cubecraft is getting closer, but their knockback is just so frustrating. I do like how like you're able to crit for a lot more damage on Cubecraft. That is super sick, but I just don't personally think that it's up to Hive's standard yet. And Hive's game modes are just more fluent, and they're doing everything really right there. And Cubecraft is kind of just like a little, it's a little bit behind. I'd even argue Cubecraft maybe S tier, but I think Hive has just, you know, they kind of revolutionized like everything, and like, let's be honest, the Bedrock YouTube community is purely the Hive, so for that reason, I'm gonna have to give them S tier. Now Galaxite, that's my home, so obviously, it's not gonna be S tier. I mean, that's just the sad truth about it. I mean, it averages like the same players as like Nethergames and Mineplex. It averages like 1,000 players. But the issue why I can't put it at B or C tier is just because it's so unique. Like, I mean, you've got like Chronos and stuff, so it's like games like Chronos and Hyper Racers and just like the features that Galaxite has. I mean, everyone knows that Galaxite's just an underrated server, and it's just nobody plays it because Hive and Cubecraft have been around for longer. For that reason, I'm gonna have to give it like an A tier. It's like middle A, middle B, like in between here. Cause like I love Galaxite, but people just don't play it. I think it's just purely because the games are maybe a little bit too difficult to understand for like the kids who play the game, but I don't know. I'm gonna personally give it an A tier. Me, Hyperlands is personally just like Nethergames. Like I don't know the difference at all. Hyperlands is just literally a copy of Hypixel, except it's just like the lesser version of Nethergames. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Hyperlands in C tier with Mineplex, because it is a little better than Mineplex, but it's really just nothing special. It's just a copy of Hypixel as far as I know, and just not really a fan, honestly. Now for the last game we have Brokenlens, and I'm gonna be honest, I have never personally played Brokenlens before, but for some reason it's a big server. I like looked at it one time, and from what I can see, they've got like a ton of game modes for no reason that people just don't play. Like they've got a bunch of game modes, and just nobody plays them, so they're pointless. So as far as I know, Brokenlens is pretty much just Skywars and Bed Wars, I think. Not 100% on that, but I'm also going to throw that in C tier because it's just not up to Nethergames standards. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it right there. And that will conclude this list. So if you did enjoy, please like, tell me what you think in the comments. Was this good? Was this bad? And I will see you guys all tomorrow.